Why Arsenal risk repeating Nicolas Pepe mistake if they sign Dusan Vlahovic? Mikel Arteta has reinvigorated his Arsenal attack this season by building his system around the dynamism and explosiveness of his young forwards. The Gunners are far from the finished product, but the trifecta of Bukayo Saka, Martin Odegaard and Gabriel Martinelli, with Emile Smith-Rowe coming off the bench, has produced strong output. Those players have scored a combined total of 22 goals in the first half of the campaign, and with an average age of just 21, they have plenty of time to develop as individual footballers while honing their movement and understanding of each other as a group too. The banishment of Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, the result of another breach of discipline from a 32-year-old who possesses nowhere near the same level of leadership skills and maturity as his significantly younger colleagues, is perhaps the best thing that could have happened to the club as a whole and certainly to this glut of talented young athletes. They now have the chance to improve as a unit without the burden of having to prioritize providing service to an underperforming want-away teammate who refuses to press and work as hard as them. Alexander Lacazette has been selected as the central striker in the 4-2-3-1 shape most commonly this campaign, and while doing a good job of linking with the youngsters around him, does not offer anything like enough threat to warrant continuing in the number 9 role beyond this season. The Frenchman has scored only 3 goals in 2021-22, and his contract expires in June. With Aubameyang and Lacazette both set to depart, then, the Gunners will need a new striker to both improve on the recent output of those two and dovetail with the talent around him. Links with Fiorentina's Dusan Vlahovic are persistent, but does he make sense for the setup of this side? First, the fundamentals. The 23-year-old is Serie A's top scorer this season with 16 goals, even though his side sits only 7th in the table. He stands at 6'3" and scores every 111 minutes. Beyond that, though, there are a few pieces of data which suggest Vlahovic is currently in an admittedly extremely impressive, but ultimately unsustainable purple patch. So far this campaign, the Serbian is overperforming his expected goals, XG, numbers by over 50%, per Understat. That means that although he has scored 16 goals, he should actually have only scored 10. Now, overperforming might read like a positive at first glance, but that isn't quite the full story. When a forward overperforms his XG, it means that a drop is on its way. Nobody in world football maintains a significant overperformance in their XG over the course of more than a season. Well, except for Lionel Messi, anyway. That overperformance can be attributed to several factors. The first is a period of unrealistically excellent finishing, the second is goalkeeping errors, and the third a bit of luck. So, at some stage Vlahovic is going to stop scoring as many and will revert to something like a goal every other game. Still a respectable level of output, but nothing groundbreaking. Furthermore, the way in which Vlahovic scores his goals is interesting. For such a tall player he is surprisingly unimpressive in the air, with only 2 of his 16 Serie A goals this season being as headers. In fact, 13 of his goals have been left-footed, showing that he relies on his stronger foot an awful lot. Again, not exactly a problem if he uses it to score a bucketful, but a top-tier centre-forward could do with a bit more variety. What's more, only 3 of Vlahovic's goals have come against teams in Serie A's top 8 as things stand. Goals against bottom-half sides are obliviously vital too, of course, but his inefficacy in the big games could be a concern. Lacazette's major strength in recent months has been his ability to come deep for the ball and link up with the faster, more explosive players around him. His numbers for passing are strong, and whoever comes in for Arsenal will need to be able to bring the best out of the other attackers as well, offering a goal threat of their own. Vlahovic, though, disappoints in the passing department. He completes an average of just 17 passes per match, compared to Lacazette's 82. His numbers for key passes, expected assists, and in progressive passes all place him lower than the average for a Serie A striker. Good move. Glenn Johnson urges Arsenal star to join Liverpool in stunning transfer. Arsenal target Dusan Vlahovic tells friends the 2 clubs he would like to join. Arsenal chief Edu makes contact with £47 million striker's agent as Vlahovic alternative. None of this is to say that Vlahovic is a bad footballer, far from it. But he is a player whose value is inflated by his overperformance right now, and whose playing style does not seem to fit the mold of what an Arsenal forward in this system should play like. The Gunners have fallen for this before, with Nicolas Pepe. The Ivorian scored 19 League One goals for Lille in the season before his arrival, but vastly overperformed his XG and scored plenty of penalties, warning signs that he may not be worth an astronomical fee. Arsenal paid one anyway, and have unquestionably been proven wrong for doing so. Vlahovic is still young, though, and could develop the skills required over time. The Serb would definitely be worth taking a risk on at £40 million or so, especially for a club like Wolves who have European aspirations and could do with a penalty box presence and reliable finisher. But at a rumoured £70 million, Arsenal opting to sign him would be a significant gamble rather than a silver bullet. Mikel Arteta says Arsenal have big advantage in race to sign Dusan Vlahovic. Why Arsenal should make a transfer move for Lions Brazilian midfield star Bruno. For more stories like this, check our sport page. Follow Metro Sport for the latest news on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram.